There's very little trust in the sector. There's a lot of people got into the sector that maybe shouldn't. Tenants, homeowners. The last thing they need when they're probably already struggling with the bills and all the rest of it is for someone to come in and cause them. So I'm the founder and CEO of a company called One Energy. My name's Harvey Mason, and we are an energy efficiency brand working with domestic, commercial, and what we do is we make the journey of finding out how you can save energy and reducing your bills, all that kind of stuff. We have like an end-to-end process to that, which is just making it super slick, super simple, and making it easy for everyone to get on that journey and save energy, basically.
Amazing. Okay, so how did this come about?
Okay, so my previous role, I was involved in, I was managing director of a company that did renewable installations. So we did solar and air source heat pumps, all that kind of thing, energy efficiency measures. And what I recognised was that a lot of the consumers were very confused. So we work with sort of government-backed grants, all that kind of thing. And what we recognise is consumers are very confused about this kind of thing. There's very little trust in the sector. So we wanted to build a brand that was trusted. We're actually B Corp pending at the minute, which is great. That's a good signal towards that. So building that trust, consumer first, and taking away all the acronyms, taking away all the confusion. Doris, who wants to get a house more energy efficient, doesn't want to know about the scheme name and the ins and outs and all of that. She wants to know, look, what's good for me? How's it going to work? How quick's it going to happen? And how simple is it going to be? That's what she wants to know. She doesn't want to know all the fluff around it. So, we recognise that, and basically that's where the idea was spawned from. The other thing is that in the sector, there's very little trust when it comes to the sort of supply chain as well. So, there's a lot of people got into the sector that, maybe shouldn't. And, there's a lot of, you only need to look in the headlines. Just last week, BBC was announcing 30,000 homes that were incorrectly insulated across the country. And, this is the sort of stuff that we as a brand are tackling. So we only actually work with fully accredited installers. We're fully vetted. We really go into quite a lot of detail on that. We'll physically visit the installer. We'll inspect some of the work that they've done, and we make sure that the customer is clear and simple advice, and then secondly, if we are going to do an installation in your house, it's done through a very, very trusted, good, high quality installer. So yeah.
It's hard to find. Yeah,
absolutely.
Check a trade.
yeah, exactly. It is kind of that to a degree, but we manage the whole process, and we guide the consumer and the customer through the process. We're very much hands-on with that. We're a consumer first brand, definitely. Yeah.
That's great. So when people are using the service, what are you hoping they feel? Take me through that process.
We want them to feel at ease. We want them to feel like they can trust us. They're getting good, solid, impartial advice. The other thing with our sector is, there's a lot of companies out there that do different types of things. So if someone inquires directly to them, they're naturally going to try and push them down a route that suits them as a business. We're impartial to that. So we have a network of installers that do lots of different things. So like I said, we're consumer first. So the first thing is that trust, feeling that they're in good hands. We've got their best interests at heart. And then also having peace of mind that when it does come to an actual installation in their property, which if they're a homeowner and, not just homeowners, tenants, homeowners, the last thing they need when they're probably already struggling with the bills and all the rest of it is for someone to come in and cause them nothing but problems with the property, and now they've got to try and find extra money to try and, rectify that, all that kind of thing. They need to know that, we've got their best interests at heart, and we'll make sure everything is done to the best ability, basically. Yeah.
That's amazing. So whilst this is a bit about the business and the products and services that you have and provide, it is called Founder Story. So it is about the founders. We want to know a little bit more about you. So firstly, I want to know what drives you. What gets you up in the morning?
Oh man, I think I've just always been very, very passionate about business. I love creating things. I love building things from scratch. I've had numerous businesses in the past. I've had, you know, successes, failures. I just love business. I love building teams, love building products and services that are disruptive in a market as well. Trying to look at things from a completely different angle. You know, how can we really break through in this sector? You know, everything I've sort of done has always had an element of that in it. So that's always been a big driver for me. But yeah, I mean, I love business. I love working with people and creating things. You know, that's a big thing for me.
What's the kind of impact that you want to have on the world? And that could be for your business, or it could be just a personal vision.
I think for me, I think from a business perspective, I think you know, showing people to believe in themselves. Make sure you believe in yourself. If you've got an idea for something and you personally really believe in it, and you've thought it through, and you can see the vision, stick with it, go with it. You know, be sort of unwaverable. You know, and do what you're there to do, and follow your sort of passion and vision on that. I think that's really important. You know, it's quite typically people will, you know, come up with an idea where an external input can not necessarily purposely, but can sometimes be quite negative or cynical, you know, towards what you want to do. So if you believe in it, I think you've got to follow that dream and go for it.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you've had a lot of ups and downs in this business.
Lots
and
of
a lot
them,
of
yeah.
Talk to me a bit about those and how you overcame them as well.
I mean, I started my first business when I was at school. So I had a little started DJing when I was at school. I was 13. And I had a little DJ agency, so I had a couple of DJs that worked for me as well, and then that grew into probably one of the biggest event management companies in Lancashire, well, Northwest really. We had a company called Super Social, but I was young, you know, I was still in my early 20s, and you know, unfortunately, we grew to a point where we had, I don't know, we're doing maybe 15, 20 events a week. We had a bar and a nightclub and all this stuff, and it was 2008 when the crash hit. And we didn't have any wool on our back or anything. We were young, we were just out partying and all the rest of it. And unfortunately, the business went into liquidation. And I personally had to go bankrupt through that as well. So that was a real hard, but strong lesson. You know, which was cool. Looking back now, it's probably one of the best things that happened to me. At the time, it was like the world was ending. But you know, so that's the first business that I had that had a really positive journey and then ended quite dramatically. And then from there, I ended up working with a villa rental company over in Ibiza. So I moved over to Ibiza. I lived in Ibiza for just over 4 years, and we built probably the island's biggest villa rental company over there, which is still going now, really successful. Then I came back so then what happened, travel business, luxury travel, all the rest of it, we were there, and then COVID hit. So you're in travel, you know, I mean, literally, we're a commission-based business. So literally, we're going backwards, because we're having to refund people for the villas and all the rest of it, and just a nightmare. So, you know, it was a friend of mine that set that business up originally. I got involved afterwards, so it made sense for me to kind of come out of that, let him carry on with it as a lifestyle business, and great news, they're succeeding really well now, which is really nice to see. But then I came back to England off the back of COVID and all the rest of it, and then I got involved in the energy sector then, and then things have kind of have gone up from there. Yeah,
it's still the energy sector's still like that.
Yeah,
there's so much to do. There's so much work to be done in that space. So
absolutely, mate. Yeah. So everybody's finding the feet. There's a lot of. I mean, you look at Octopus. I mean, amazing. Just some amazing initiatives and amazing ventures and investments that they're making. All the rest of it. It's amazing, you know. But yeah, there's so much to look at, and you know, for us, I think back to One Energy. The reason behind the brand was sort of like one community, one target, almost, it's cheesy, but one-stop shop in regards to people coming to us and getting that impartial advice and giving them a energy-saving plan that hopefully sees them through for the next sort of 10 years or whatever, you know, and everything in between that and all the little touch points. That's what we're here to try and build, that end-to-end sort of process, all backed by tech and all the rest of it. So yeah.
And back to the bits a little bit about you. Would the young boy you once were be proud of the man you are today, and what would he say to you?
Oof, wow. Fair play for carrying on. I think probably. You know, there's been quite a few situations where you think, God, you know, is this for me? realistically, and I think picking yourself up and carrying on. The multiple situations where you just think, wow, is it easy to just go and get a job and go about life that way? But it's just not in me. I've got to be entrepreneurial. I've got to have my own business. I've got to run my own veg. I've got to be in charge of my own shit. But yeah, I think that's what I'd say. Yeah, fair play for carrying on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And lastly, I've got a magic microphone. If I give you this microphone, whatever you say into it, the whole of society can hear.
Okay.
What is your message to the world?
Believe in yourself, 100%. Believe in yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Believe in yourself for sure. Yeah.
Amazing. Is there anything we haven't discussed that you want to discuss, or anything I haven't asked? It's
No,
really
man,
hard to get so much into 15 minutes.
I feel like I just rabbled on then. I don't even know what I said, but no, it's cool, yeah.
You smashed it. Honestly,
yeah.
you did so good. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got such an interesting story.